Halo semuanya, thank you for coming. Before we get started, kita kasih proper introduction dulu ya. So, Project Planet itu a non-profit platform. Kita centralize semua information and activities about sustainability, environmental issues, and social issues in Indonesia. Our mission mostly is focusing on education and raising awareness, as well as providing a space where people can come to discuss about finding solutions and where they can actually like get started on these things. Nah, kalau Akar gimana nih? Akar itu apa sih sebenarnya? What do you guys do? Why don't you give us that introduction,
Halo.
Gea?
Oke. Hai guys, halo semua yang sudah datang, terima kasih. Jadi mau sharing dulu ya, Akar tuh adalah kita sustainable fashion platform. Jadi memang kita ini spiritnya untuk lebih nge-promote dan advocating sustainable fashion di Indonesia juga gitu. Jadi kita ingin menjadi enabler bagi para fashion actors untuk ngelakuin sustainable fashion juga gitu. Jadi dari consumer, terus juga dari si fashion local brand owners, designers gitu sebenarnya. Jadi kita ingin merangkul sebenarnya.
I see. So you're also like a platform like us, right? But focusing
Ya,
on sustainable
sustainable fashion.
fashion. Yeah, so bagi yang belum ngeliat posternya, today we are gonna be discussing dampak-dampak COVID-19 to the fashion industry, the fashion world, and the sustainable industry juga, and also to the environment. So if you guys have any questions, just comment below, and then we'll answer it when appropriate, you know, when we can, and maybe at the end of itu kita juga open Q&A. So kita mulai dari fashion world dulu ya nih. I'm not really familiar with the fashion world, but you know, I'm glad to know that there is brands like Akar yang fokus ke slow fashion, and you know, like slow fashion is also like a new concept to me when I started getting into Project Planet and like you know actually focusing more on the environment and stuff like that. Slow fashion is like a concept that I haven't fully captured. Do you want to just explain to us like what is slow fashion gitu sih?
Jadi sebenarnya sustainable fashion atau slow fashion ini kita memang lebih ke arah bagian dari fashion industry. Cuma kita fokus ke cara melakukan fashion yang lebih berkelanjutan, dan itu kita fokusnya ngerangkup dari sisi produksi juga, dari supply chain, distributor, juga sama ke consumer gitu. Jadi memang bisa meliputi dari caranya nih, dari kayak misalnya bahan yang digunakan, bagaimana cara kita mendapatkannya, bagaimana cara itu di tanam dan akhirnya sampai bisa kita ambil dan kita olah lagi menjadi kain. Terus gimana caranya untuk mengolah dari yang tadinya cuma satuan benar-benar jadi kain itu jadi baju atau jadi suatu pakaian bisa kita pakai, juga menggunakan distributionnya tuh nanti gimana nih dari para produser terus ke consumer yang gimana jadi end user kita gitu. Sebenarnya itu adalah definisi mudahnya lebih yang kayak gitu sih, yang dimana dalam pengelolaannya tidak mencemari, berusaha untuk lebih mengurangi dalam pencemaran lingkungan, dan juga kita juga care about orang-orang
Social
atau
aspects.
pihak-pihak yang
Yeah.
ada di dalam part tersebut gitu, kayak penjahitnya gimana, terus orang patternnya gimana gitu.
So it's like so fashion is more ethical, sustainable, like eco-friendly lah side of fashion gitu ya. How has your company been? How has Akar has been affected by COVID-19?
Kalau Akar itu kita sebenarnya terhitung kita belum nyampe setahun sih untuk kita operate gitu, dan one of the first project yang memang kita lakukan selain promoting itu juga kita ada kita nge-promote lebih kayak ke swap fashion, swapping clothes, dan juga rental clothes gitu, yang memang untuk pilot kita dari June last year itu fokusnya lebih ke formal semi formal gitu, dimana target kita tuh juga sekarang masih perempuan, umur di antara 23 sampai 35 tahun gitu. Jadi memang kita aimnya anak-anak yang baru lulus kuliah, yang baru mulai kerja gitu, yang memang lagi in the needs of culture-nya tuh yang kayak gue mau going out, gue mau ada acara lamaran apa segala macam, masih kita catering that needs gitu.
Yeah.
Yang sebenarnya ke impact banget adalah justru of course sisi produk kita yang itu sebenarnya during this COVID. Jadi kayak kita lagi di karantina, kayak gak ada orang yang throwing party gitu, lo throwing party lo ditangkep gitu. Jadi sementara in the meantime akar itu pada saat itu kita mendesain baju, maksudnya service yang kita cater adalah yang memang bener-bener yang buat outgoing, ya yang lebih ke have fun, yang kayak social activities, yang lebih kayak gitu. Jadi kita juga kedampak banget karena orang-orang juga pada nggak mau keluar gitu. Itu satu. Yang kedua, pasti orang-orang juga lebih concern sama hygiene nih sekarang. Kayak even kita pun yang juga di rumah aja nggak tahu berapa kali kita make hand sanitizer gitu. And that also the things, even kalau kita pakai reusable cloth mask itu juga kita harus benar-benar yakin juga kan kita nyuci bener nih gitu. Nah jadi it puts ada trust yang berkurang dari sisi konsumen, sehingga itu impacting ke demand kita juga gitu. Jadi mau nggak mau sekarang kita akhirnya strateginya adalah kita harus pivoting our business model ke yang lain. Karena memang pada awalnya memang bisnis model kita adalah platform, jadi sekarang itu kita juga masih developing our own web, yang dimana nanti itu bakal jadi kayak ya one stop place buat akar mengumpulkan fashion actors, interchanging all the informations dan juga data and insights gitu. Tapi in the meantime kita memang utilize social media, mainly Instagram as for now, untuk sharing information gitu. Kayak kemarin kita pas di awal sebelum memang diharuskan menggunakan cloth mask, tapi sudah mulai ada brand-brand lokal yang inisiatif untuk membuat cloth mask karena memang udah saking susahnya nyari masker yang buat surgical.
Biasa, ya,
gitu.
Disposable itu ya.
Iya, dan akhirnya mereka inisiatif sendiri menggunakan bahan-bahan. Salah satu brand yang memang kita tahu duluan itu mereka menggunakan waste mereka mostly. Jadi mereka ubah lagi jadi mask dan mereka gunakan. Itu yang akhirnya akan melakukan, karena kita ngerasa ini urgent needs banget nih, bentar lagi bakalan orang-orang pasti bakalan nyari informasi, dan pada saat itu memang belum begitu banyak yang bikin juga gitu. Jadi kita gather the information, kita compile, and then kita publish supaya orang juga bisa aware kalau misalnya mereka mau cari itu yang mana, ke siapa, lokasinya di mana, kayak gitu. Karena ada juga yang kayak ada salah satu teman kita, dia juga bikin tapi di Lombok gitu. Sementara pada saat itu kita tahu Lombok, maksudnya Eastern Indo tuh kayak masih agak kurang banyak orang aware gitu, kayak mereka butuh atau enggak gitu. Jadi di situ kita put juga locationnya untuk mempermudahkan mempertemukan mereka sebenarnya. Dan thank God sih that was the thing yang I think we did it thankfully right gitu. Jadi kayak kita banyak bantu orang juga, dan mulai memperluas exposure kita juga, kayak kita bisa bantuin buat kalian untuk ngepromotin barang kalian nih pada saat ini, karena memang dibutuhin gitu, termasuk juga cara ngebersihin dan segala macam. Tuh ada berapa jenis.
Yeah, especially like right now, itu competition is like something we can't think about, you know. Semuanya harus collab, and like everyone just needs to work together to actually face this thing so that we'll get back on our feet faster, so that we can go back to our normal daily business.
Iya sih. Dan untungnya responnya positif sih, karena kayak ternyata kita juga banyak yang kayak ada yang nyari fokus di donasi doang nih, karena memang mereka beneficiaries gitu posisinya. Tapi ada juga yang kayak employer yang kayak dia running bisnis, terus gue mau protecting my employees gitu. Jadi gue nggak apa-apa beli, tapi gue nyari yang kira-kira kalau gue beli in big quantity itu kemana gitu. And we're thankful for that gitu. Dan ya itu juga menurut kita, karena kita lagi nggak bisa promoting our business as in the rental stuff, jadi kita lebih kayak kita tetap butuh brand relationship sih sama brand awareness gitu. Otherwise we gonna go back to zero again, and then it's really hard to build a brand, apalagi after crisis.
Gitu. So in your opinion, what are your key factors in managing this crisis right now in your company?
The key factors to managing, yang pertama itu kita sebenarnya gain information sih, dan memang benar-benar pinter-pinter ngelihat consumer behavior-nya itu kemana gitu. Karena ada yang kayak karena kayak misalnya sekarang orang kalau misalnya lagi krisis kan memang tendensinya saving kan gitu. Dan cara, dan aku pun sadar juga kalau untuk di Indo untuk sustainable fashion atau slow fashion brand itu masih consider as luxury goods gitu. Jadi ini udah pasti bakal ke impact banget gitu, baik karena memang shifting priorities lah gitu. Cuma jadi sekarang challenges-nya adalah gimana nih caranya kita untuk lebih mendemocratize si sustainable fashion lagi. Tapi first thing and foremost itu adalah kita harus mengeducate mereka juga, kita harus mempromote mereka juga. Dan kayak mahal karena memang bahan bakunya yang mahal sebenarnya. Kayak it's still considered as something yang memang mahal sih, aku nggak bohong gitu. Terus salah satunya lagi memang udah kita harus sensitif sama, awalnya kan pasti semua company punya plan tahun ini mau ngapain, bulan ini mau ngapain, bulan akhir tahun mau ngapain, segala macam. Nah cuma gara-gara si COVID ini mau nggak mau harus revisit lagi sih, revisit all the strategies. Apakah during this time sebenarnya expense buat marketing yang paling appropriate, yang paling profitable tuh lewat channel yang mana gitu. Karena ada yang bilang kalau misalnya lagi during kayak gini terus marketing expense buat jualan it's actually agak jadi sangkos. Ada juga yang kayak yang penting maintain brand dulu apa segala macam gitu. Jadi memang harus revisit lagi dan memang harus maintain relationship sama customers juga gitu, kayak being attentive on what actually their needs right now tuh apa.
Yeah. So like adapting to different
Jadi kita harus
priorities.
adapt cepet sih.
Yeah. Would you say that there's a lot of changes in the fashion industry in general, like, you know, globally, worldwide? What do you think are like the impacts that you see?
Kalau impact yang bener-bener kerasa banget sih, kalau yang aku lihat kayaknya nggak sih, kalau yang aku lihat itu brand-brand yang sebenarnya udah punya atau sudah mengutilize digital atau online, mereka lebih nggak kaget gitu. Kayak mereka udah tahu, kayak maksudnya oke, berarti pada saat ini gue harus switch dulu ke online, gue boost gitu. Tapi ada juga yang memang kayak misalnya memang heavily masih offline stores, itu tuh dia yang kayak oke, sekarang mereka baru sadar kalau enggak, gue harus invest di digital juga loh, ternyata ini penting sampai saat ini gitu. Per sekarang tuh mungkin it's kind of like slap them pretty hard karena memang mau gimana lagi, lo nggak bisa keluar rumah gitu. Dan this is the time dimana menurut aku innovation bener-bener di required banget dan juga resilient, karena harus ada courage dan bold juga sih untuk implementing dan trying out things sebelum we're not really sure outcome-nya bakal kayak apa. Karena memang ini baru untuk semua pihak.
Yeah, it's like not everybody is just this is like a new situation for every single person involved, so it's completely true. Like I think the fashion world juga kena in the social aspect juga ya, apalagi like fast fashion. I've heard about what happened in Bangladesh or is it China? Like do you have a
China kena, menurut China itu impactnya memberikan paling gede karena sebenarnya dia tuh yang megang global supply chain paling besar. Jadi pada saat China go off, pasti supply chain bakalan keganggu banget in terms of dari designer dan brand owners yang kayak gitu. Jadi mereka harus akhirnya memikirkan alternatif lain gitu. Another thing related sama si fashion industry juga itu sebenarnya juga untuk merchandiser dan buyer sama fashion show, karena itu kita gak bisa kesana kan. Dan sementara untuk kayak merchandiser atau buyer itu mereka harus kesana dan mereka harus kayak bener-bener ngeliat barangnya kayak apa gitu. Maksudnya that is the status quo. Nah, cuma during this pandemic mau nggak mau memang akhirnya mulai bermunculan inovasi-inovasi teknologi lain yang bisa diimplement untuk kayak fashion show kita buat virtual, merchandise buyer kita buat kayak AI-nya atau kayak virtual showroom. Jadi mereka juga kayak bisa menggunakan utilize alat kayak kamera VR untuk mereka pakai dan mereka bisa sort of like in simulation ini kayak apa barangnya kayak gitu, which actually really help to still generate income juga in a way gitu. Atau bukan in a way, justru kayak sekarang akhirnya reliant-nya ke situ.
Yeah, like the online digital world is like really benefiting from this.
Ya,
Semuanya pindah ke situ.
iya, iya.
Like I don't know about everyone at home or stuff, but kayak this whole quarantining emang I feel so out of normal gitu loh. So like time just fly by and I don't have really time or like feel the need to buy all this like recreational stuff, you know, commercial shopping gitu-gitu. But I know a lot of friends who are online shopping juga, you know, just to keep themselves busy, to feel like they have stuff. Cuman people are struggling economically juga. So, you know, smaller shops yang butuh our support, you know, like the cash flow is not gonna get it, and people are really struggling. Yeah. So thanks for sharing. I wanted to touch on sustainable industry gitu because people can because you know as you as a sustainable fashion platform itu juga udah kelihatan kena banget, and not only that, not only sustainable fashion but the sustainable industry in general because climate action is not the main focus anymore gitu because people are struggling economically like I said, so the industries are struggling to sell things that are considered second priority. Jadi climate action groups juga kayak waktu itu pingin hold a protest and everything, and it didn't happen, and people lose opportunities to actually hold raise awareness gitu. But on another note, mereka juga learn to adapt gitu. So everybody's also taking in online action, and people are going to hold events in like a webinar gitu. And people are also noticing the change to the environment. So because of the lockdown kan orang-orang kayak stop gitu, like completely um, like their habits tiba-tiba completely change, and people have been talking about like, oh, we see the impact to the air quality and the air pollution, soalnya itu emang obvious banget kan ya, orang-orang nggak keluar and people can see there are less cars, less traffic in the streets, and you know public transport around the world I think are being stopped juga to contain the virus kayak examples are NASA itu mereka report 30% drop in air pollution in areas of America yang East Coast gitu, and I read also that the Himalayan mountains are like can be seen from India now in the first time in 30 years, and that's like insane juga kan, like we can see that there are these changes. Tapi dari Jakarta Air Quality Index like emang kelihatan there are more good air quality these days. Cuman to be honest, there wasn't much change. Like still like 5 days out of the 30 days in 1 month for the past 4 months. That's like not really that much change gitu. Apalagi like you know I was expecting such a drastic change in Jakarta, and mungkin itu juga gara-gara Indonesia baru partial lockdown kali ya. Jadi orang-orang masih belum really pay attention to like staying at home. Also be careful of like hoaxes. Apparently, like people's been saying that there are dolphins in the Venice canals, and it's not true. It's like di Photoshop rupanya, sedih banget gak sih? Just to find like just to get people some hope, they Photoshopped a fish in the Venice Canal. It's so sad. And
Yes, it's
yeah,
justified.
uh-uh. Obviously, it's nothing like compared to the loss this world is facing because of the pandemic. Like, even though there are like these things that we consider positive that are happening in this world, but you know, it comes at a cost of you know lives juga, and it's not worth the temporary changes that we're seeing. And actually, there are also impacts to um, the changes that people don't really see, like the waste management system. Itu kayak in US, like some states actually suspend recycling programs and restarted their landfill waste system. Used to be illegal gitu, tapi mereka suspend landfill itunya. Jadi mereka boleh lempar lagi ke landfill because they were scared it was gonna spread the
Yeah.
virus. And there's also a fear of lack of essential workers kan ya, now that people are staying in or getting sick. Terus in Europe juga, because Europe is and US are the biggest hit ones now, and their waste disposal options juga di halt because people in Italy are not allowed to recycle because they're all scared again about like recycling and the worry of spreading the virus. Starbucks juga baru announce kayak mereka ada temporary ban on using reusable cups.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's not just cafes, yeah, it's not just cafes, not just fashion industry, but also like, you know, all the industries, they're not allowed to use all this stuff that used to be acceptable. Now it's gone to all disposable. Kayak restaurants, you cannot eat in, you have to take out. You know, buy stuff online, Amazon, Gojek, Grab. Terus semuanya tambah packaging. Terus household waste jadi tambah kan, from the excess material waktu panic buying juga. Like I don't know about you, but my mom is still like when we heard that we were gonna be quarantined, kayak we just kind of like they bought a lot of stuff basically, but you know, we hope it's just stuff that we can keep for a long time. Cuman ada stuff that, you know, it can rot or whatever, and then we just throw it in the condition yang padahal baru beli gitu loh.
yep.
Yeah, so emang gara-gara lockdown, commercial industries like hotels, malls, and tourist destination juga kurang sih waste-nya. Ya, mereka kena jadi kurang, kayak they say in Bantar Gebang, our landfill, there's actually like a huge change like in the trash coming in. But yeah, but our government said this is because, you know, all these tourist destinations and hotels mereka keluarin less because there's less people using them. Cuman like I don't really know if it makes an impact on how much household waste. Kayaknya household waste emang still going, and people are even more worried now all over the world, you know, so they're just like throw everything out that's not necessary. I also wonder.
I think yang untuk household waste itu sebenarnya tuh kayak this is like a good opportunity for them to practice how to separate their waste kayak based on organic and non-organic stuff, so it helps them to sort out before it goes out to the landfills. Tapi agree sih on that, yang dimana kayak memang ada perubahan sentimen terhadap reusable stuff karena memang saat oh my god, my low bad. Karena emang ada perubahan yang untuk reusable, soalnya lebih ke cleanliness aspek kan, honestly. Gitu. Tapi menurut aku sih, the way I see it, this is giving the opportunity for the people to actually more aware and more conscious about the things that they buy. Karena memang pada saat ini kan limitationnya adalah nggak bisa keluar lah, nggak bisa jalan-jalan lah. So probably they think about, so next time I'm gonna buy stuff, I'm gonna make sure that I can use that stuff for multiple times in the future gitu, in which it supports the sustainability principle juga from that aspect gitu. So I think ini bisa jadi kayak, we can say that it's gonna be more like the catalyst buat sustainable lifestyle atau living, supaya mereka juga bisa tetap ada, bukan jadi tetap sih, justru naik kayak growth demand-nya, karena mereka baru sadar kalau okay, the next time I'm gonna buy stuff, I'm gonna be more conscious about it gitu. I think
yeah, I think there's also that aspect where people like contemplate more. I'm just thinking about like people who belum make that change, like belum even aware that there's this sustainable, because sustainable community is very little, right? Like very small, and also still considered in Indonesia, I mean, and still considered like, I think
niche.
a change that only luxury change. I think at least that's what I'm aware of gitu. I don't think people in with lower income, they would care a lot about, you know, reusable stuff and changing their lives into a more sustainable lifestyle, because they want to fit their lifestyle into whatever is more cheap gitu, which is true. Like it can be expensive sometimes. You got like bamboo toothbrushes are more expensive than plastic toothbrushes gitu, you know. And also it takes a lot of effort gitu. I wonder how like Jakarta single plastic ban is going on right now. Like, are they gonna pause it or delay the implementation? Soalnya kan our gubernur, like Anies ya, he said that it was gonna be implemented by June, but now like with this whole thing happening, I don't think it's gonna happen in 2 months. Like, yeah, and terus medical waste is also an issue right now. Like disposable mask, you know, like, hey, by the way, guys, me and Project Planet and Akar, we made a tutorial on our DIY cloth mask. So you can make it out of cotton fabric from your home. if you have any, and you also can use like your old swimsuit or whatever stretchy material for the straps. Yeah, sorry, shameless plug.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it can be
side
helpful.
track. Yeah, it's really helpful, I think. And yeah, so they said that we have 132 hospitals kanya in Indonesia that handles COVID-19 cases. And right now, medical waste is increasing very, very rapidly because of this pandemic. And the only way that we're handling it in Indonesia is by burning it, because there's no actual technology that's like as efficient as burning it. And our governor also had mentioned about it as well. Terus Kementerian Kesehatan juga bilang katanya this is the only way right now to dispose of it. Other countries have been using chemicals as well as burning. So from my experience, because you know I had COVID-19 before, and I was hospitalized for a month, even though I wasn't that sick. I was just like protokol aja gitu. So my nurses, every time they come in the room, mereka keluar itu they have to take off everything, their PPE, their mask, they have like the face shield thing, itu
Yes.
mereka buang semuanya. Terus in my room, from top to bottom everything is disposable plastic. Gue nggak boleh minum dari cup, padahal itu gue aja kan yang di dalam kamar itu, cuman like I can't drink from that because they have to throw everything literally. And they said that they've made this change ever since the pandemic started because they were prepared, sort of, the hospital. So they instantly made everything disposable, and gue juga nggak enak kan, I was like involved in it, I can't change anything, and I try to limit things, tapi gue mau gimana lagi, I can't drink.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was annoying, but in general, I think we just have to be more mindful about our lifestyle. There's
Yeah.
like
I
yeah, in our
it's
day-to-day
a bit
lifestyle.
tricky, medical waste. Tapi baru tahu
Mm,
sih kalau itu ternyata memang dibakar semua ya.
yeah, yeah, like people have been saying, like, you know, activists mereka juga point out Indonesia like so bad, like you're gonna contribute to air pollution. Cuman Indonesia is still like progressing
Yeah.
technologically, and I don't think people outside juga have that much power to help us gitu, because they're also using burning and chemicals, because it's termasuk hazardous and infectious
Yes, benar.
materials juga. Yeah.
Uh-uh.
So yeah, like there's nothing that we can do to change that aspect because people are on high alert, and we also want to contain this virus, you know. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, in general, we just have to be more mindful in our lifestyle, in our day-to-day habits, even with or without this pandemic. Cuman this pandemic emang put a little
Change a
highlight
lot.
on our lifestyle.
Iya benar sih, karena emang kayak abis ini sih menurut kita sih kayaknya it's not gonna be the same sih, kayak ini menjadi another point of no return aja buat kita semua.
With
Gitu.
point
Ya,
of no
kayak
return.
yeah, this is like another revolution yang kayak memang
Yeah.
mungkin udah kita bisa predik dari sebelumnya, cuma ini kayak yang benar-benar stimulannya aja gitu jadi tambah cepet buat ngerubah everything gitu.
Yeah, I think so too. I think there's definitely things that people need to think about. Terus
Yeah.
hopefully, like our government are also thinking the same things, because, you know, we can be just having this temporary effects. Tapi if they see that these effects are good, maybe it will push them to make it more permanent. Yeah. Gue lagi ngeliat-liat nih pertanyaan. So if you guys have any questions, just like start commenting. Do you have anything to add, Ge?
I think on the fashion industry is, well, the main points, I think be ready for the behavior, the change of the behavior changes dari consumer, terus sama go digital
Mm-mm.
as soon as you can. Like, put your money into it as an investment.
Yeah. Udah mulai
Karena
the business side.
kayaknya itu yang paling membantu sih. Maksudnya even if nanti pandemiknya juga udah over, cuma those stuff yang kita misalnya jadi going digital, jadi lebih mindful about our consumption, dan juga itu bakalan affect ke kita bakalan revisit lagi, kita mau memberikan solusi apa sih sebenarnya di sini. Kayak we build our businesses mainly is to solve problems, jadi we need to revisit again what are the problems now that we need to address and we need to answer gitu in order for brands to get away from this pandemic stronger. Otherwise, it's gonna be a very deadly competition juga sih gitu. Karena kalau nggak bisa kuat bakal susah sih, I think. Tapi just be ready.
Yeah. Stephanie asked tips on how to live more sustainably at home. Kalau dari Project Planet sih, we definitely recommend trying composting for food waste. You know, like it will your compost itu bisa jadi food for your plants at home, or you can even like sell it. That's also an option. And try to reduce as much plastic waste as possible. So if you can cook, try to cook. And kalau pergi grocery run, don't panic buy and use your reusable bags. Yeah, you know, this is all very standard tips to, you know, do in our daily lives without the pandemic as well. Cuman maybe now if the concerns are about disposable masks and everything, you know, obviously wear cloth mask itu juga udah jadi mandatory sekarang.
Yeah.
Sama our government. And yeah, I think I've covered everything. Try to be mindful of your listrik juga, because you know we don't think much about electricity, tapi gara-gara kita bosan at home, we're actually consuming so much you know, energy, and the energy sectors are like running like crazy probably right now. Yeah.
Kalau untuk dari Akar, untuk tips on getting sustainable at home, pasti sih udah mulai bisa dimulai dari beres-beresin baju lama sih. Jadi kayak Marie Kondo your wardrobe gitu.
Marie Kondo. Yeah, do that.
Karena
organizing stuff.
You got plenty of time kayak
you do have plenty of time, yeah.
Yes. Jadi kayak ya udah mulai sorting out mana lagi yang masih bisa dipakai, mana yang enggak, mana yang bikin happy, mana yang enggak gitu. I think that one applied to almost everything sih, probably during this pandemic kayak which habits that I want to keep, which habits that I don't think more.
Jadinya ini ngomongin soal motivational speaking on how to create great habits. Terus juga like be careful if you're cleaning your stuff to dispose of the stuff you don't need anymore properly. Like textile waste is also an issue because it's actually not as biodegradable as people think. You know, it still ends up as part of like one of the pollutants in our rivers. So, you know, do you know where to discard of textile waste in Indonesia?
As in like the textile?
Yeah. Like
so mainly
baju-baju sisa.
Especially for the waste, I'm not really sure, but there are more brands that are promoting zero waste. So it's more relied on the pattern, the cutting.
Yeah.
So
I think
zero waste.
Yeah, Zero Waste ID, they have some like maps as well on where to dispose stuff like electronic waste, or in our website Project Planet.
Electronic waste tuh penting sih ternyata.
Electronic waste
kan? Ternyata penting kayak buang kulkas kemana?
Waktu itu lu coba buang kulkas, rupanya nggak tahu kemana juga ya taruhnya,
nggak tahu kayak gimana ya, kayak maksudnya kalau misalnya sampai barang kayak udah rusak banget, kayak emang ternyata kita butuh tapi kita nggak tahu kalau kita butuh.
Baterai juga tau nggak?
Baterai juga,
kita kayak nggak pikiran gitu kayak it's actually very bad for the landfill. Soalnya kita Indonesia kan waste management system belum ada ya. Jadi lu buang semuanya masuk ke Bantar Gebang gitu loh. Nggak ada yang di recycle. Kalau misalnya lu buang di sampah biasa gitu. Terus waktu itu ada landfill yang di Bandung kalau nggak salah, yang I forgot the name of the landfill, but emang 2012 it exploded, yang it killed a lot of people, it destroyed the houses nearby, semuanya gara-gara build up methane gas. Itu combination dari food waste, combination dari rotting clothes, whatever is rotting down there, and electronic waste is just boom, crazy. Tips untuk buat clothing brand untuk masih tetap exist setelah pandemic.
Okay. I think one of the tips untuk tetap stay resilient itu harus bisa stay relevant di even during and then post pandemic gitu, karena sekarang itu tuh balik mungkin refer ke perubahan si consumer behavior yang dimana sekarang tuh orang-orang jadinya lebih savings, lebih mau beli barang kalau misalnya honestly yang murah gitu. Kayak kayak maksudnya itu I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, tapi memang kita pasti kalau lagi krisis pasti akan memilih barang yang murah. Jadi kayak discounted stuff itu bakalan diuber banget gitu. Terus kalau misalnya beli barang yang bisa dipakai untuk lama itu juga pasti akan dikonsider. Jadi caranya untuk bisa tetap exist yang pertama menurut aku sih harus care juga ya, kayak maksudnya sekarang tuh kita lagi kayak gini gitu. What your brand is gonna tell your consumers about it gitu. Cara mereka untuk peduli sama keadaan di sini tuh lagi kayak apa gitu. Karena kadang tuh masih bisa juga kan kayak kita fokusnya masih ke sales, masih kayak ngurangin inventory, masih ngurangin stok yang memang itu menjadi isu banget untuk brand owner atau clothing brand designer juga, numpukin stok-stok yang di inventory yang bisa jadinya, apalagi kalau misalnya pakai seasonal ya brandnya ya, yang kayak nanti takutnya udah out of date, kayak misalnya nih mau lebaran deh gitu, pasti kan mulai lebaran tuh semua brand kemungkinan besar akan ngeluarin raya edition yang semua pakai gamis lah atau apalah gitu ya, memang kayak perayaan hari raya lah gitu. Nah tapi during this time kita bahkan nggak tahu kayak kita akan celebrate hari raya yang bagaimana bentuknya nih gitu. Jadi we need to really consider that. Dan kalau misalnya kita ngeluarin raya collection tapi ternyata kita baru bisa, maksudnya keadaan pandemik baru berakhir way after lebaran, itu stok bisa stay di sana dan bisa nggak relevan by the time kita keluar dari pandemik gitu. Jadi please be mindful and be more attentive lagi, balik lagi ke sebenarnya kita butuh apa sih gitu. Kayak tadi ada deh pertanyaan yang di atas, bentar ya. Mana sih? Oh, hai Mira. Oh,
Gimana
hai
caranya
Daniel. Oh, ini.
kita buat lebih aware? Oh ya, sorry, lanjut dulu. Yang pertanyaan di atas ya.
Ya. Apakah produk-produk yang memperhatikan lingkungan ini bisa berpengaruh pada harga lebih murah atau lebih mahal? Oke. Sebenarnya tergantung nih peduli lingkungannya di barang yang jenis apa gitu. Kayak maksudnya kalau misalnya ngomongin clothing beda dengan kayak kita ngomongin home and living gitu. Cuma memang kalau untuk kita ngebahas yang kalau misalnya sustainable fashion yang memang lebih care sama ethical fashion, itu bisa jadi harganya memang lebih mahal. Yang pertama karena memang raw materials mereka juga memang lebih mahal, dan mereka ini agak ngebuka the nasty industry behind fast fashion sih sebenarnya, karena memang workers mereka dibayarnya kan murah banget. That's why harga mereka bisa producing massive quantity dengan harga serendah mungkin gitu, dengan harga semurah mungkin gitu. That's because of that. Tapi kalau misalnya kita ngomongin ethical fashion, kita juga lebih ke ibaratnya justice sih, lebih ke just fair price gitu. Kita juga want equal pay buat mereka juga yang sebenarnya bikin baju kita gitu. Probably that is one of the factors yang bisa mempengaruhi faktor harga untuk pricing. Cuma ada juga yang memang misalnya dia desainer sendiri, kayak misalnya tadi zero waste so the basic concept is gue punya kain segini, gimana caranya gue bikin supaya gue nggak menghasilkan sampah tekstil manapun gitu. Ya udah, berarti kan dia main di cutting gitu ya, probably bisa aja harganya juga nggak beda jauh gitu sama yang kayak misalnya beli di brand-brand yang udah masif gitu, yang udah banyak gitu sih. Hopefully can answer that question.
Ini ada pertanyaan dari Devon Nisauki. Gimana caranya sih kakak buat ngajak sekitar buat lebih aware sama lingkungan? Kadang-kadang masih susah dan terkesan sotoy. Pertama-tama emang sih like sotoy banget with my friends, it's crazy. Tapi kayak it's just like setting example kali ya, just like slowly but surely trying to explain to people like, oh, there are these things that are becoming issues di Indonesia. Kalau nggak di Indonesia, even just like putting on your story or sharing the word about a certain environmental issue that is happening right now would make them a little bit concerned, you know, at least would like be like twinge, like, oh shit, yeah, I gotta be worried about stuff, you know. So yeah, like setting up example and maybe showing them how some alternatives doesn't affect their life at all gitu. Kayak ganti toothbrush, you know, it's like very simple, but you can do it like right away gitu lah. So I think that's like probably how I made my friends more aware, and also my friends are more likely to be more aware of this stuff. Actually, I don't know why. I think it's because we're our generation among millennials. Lebih kayak aware of like concern lah sekarang, especially with now social enterprises, industry building, you know, so you can see that there's actually people who cares about this stuff and people want to get in on it gitu. Yeah, I don't think I have any other tips.
Bener sih,
Like,
bener
yeah,
sih.
yeah.
Kayaknya kalau
How do you think do you feel like sotoy sometimes with your friends?
sometimes ya iya sih, tapi mungkin paling penting tuh adalah kayak kita berkumpul dulu dari awal tuh sama orang-orang yang like minded juga.
Iya,
Karena
iya, betul,
sebenarnya
betul.
the concept of lingkungan, ya global warming, climate change, sebenarnya itu tuh real kok. Maksudnya sebenarnya kita kayak bisa naruh example yang kayak bener-bener depan mata aja gitu. Kayak ya kayak misalnya buka
Mm-mm.
air quality itu kan kayak semua orang bisa buka, semua orang bisa lihat, semua orang bisa ngerasain gitu sebenarnya.
Iya, iya.
Dan cuma kalau untuk behavioral change itu memang aku setuju sih, itu juga lebih kayak ya udah kita ngelakuin dulu aja gitu. Kadang
Mm-mm.
juga maksudnya, dan kadang juga teman-teman kita yang kayak misalnya belum ikutan tapi bisa aja juga jadi ikutan negor di saat kita lupa gitu. Mungkin juga kan kita lupa, kayak misalnya kita using reusable straw, terus kayak this one time kayak kita nggak pakai, atau kayak seminggu nggak pakai, kayak misalnya emang belum diambil aja habis cuci gitu. Mereka bisa ngingetin kita juga gitu, yang dimana kita juga sadar kalau ya this is something that we need to do and
Mm-mm.
then talk about it.
Yeah, as long as we don't push it, like you know how they say
Iya
like
iya iya iya.
extremist activist, itu pasti nggak enak banget buat orang
Iya,
lain. Kayak kita tiba-tiba lu kenapa sih pakai disposable straw? Like it's it's okay to do these things because we were born into these things, you know, like our life was made easy by plastic, and plastic has helped the world in many different ways.
betul betul.
Cuman gara-gara Indonesia aja belum bisa tahu cara manage these kinds of
Benar
waste properly, makanya
benar.
masuknya ke lautan juga dan lain-lain. So you
Hmm.
know, if they're worried about something that affects them directly, usually they will take action. Kayak
Benar.
misalnya air pollution, jelek banget for the skin and like our breathing, our lungs. Pasti mereka bakal kayak, oh,
Aduh,
how
gue
do I like,
jerawatan nih pindah Jakarta.
yeah, how do I like do this? How do I protect myself gitu lah.
Tapi benar sih, itu tuh
Yeah.
relevan sekali, sangat relatable.
It's like everyone's kena juga gitu. Everyone worries about the air quality right now at this moment
Betul.
for some reason. Okay, well,
Ada lagi nggak sih komen?
all the
Oh,
questions.
nih ada nih yang Nat Geo article help justify why that dolphin in canal images went viral to spread sense of uplifting impact psychologically. Oh, okay. You're gonna
I see.
I just heard about it sih. Jadi I think I'm gonna search for the article-nya.
Yeah. Oh, that
Mungkin
makes
niatnya
so
emang
much sense.
baik.
Cause, like, huh?
Niatnya mungkin emang ya udah kayak memberikan
Yeah,
positive
niatnya mungkin emang
vibes.
baik. Yeah. Like, I also thought like it gives people hope juga lah ya. Yeah, but at the same time, maybe like people focusing on it and then people spreading the word. Like for example, I know a lot of IG live shows so far that has actually mentioned these things. Takutnya we mention it as one of the points or evidence that we talk about here about changing people's habits in daily lives after this pandemic, and then people find out it to be false. If we focus on it, then you know they're gonna be like, it just disregard what we're saying a little bit more, which is why like we always try to be more factual in everything we say, especially as a platform. Very
Benar sih.
important to be transparent, truthful, and like
Dan
factual gitu.
reliable.
Yeah, very
Yes.
reliable. Yeah. Apa yang bisa kita lakukan di rumah untuk tetap minimalisir sampah-sampah during stay at home? Tadi sih I touched on it a bit. Obviously kita masih butuh grocery shopping dan lain-lain, so you shop using reusable bags and try to shop not using the plastik yang sayur-sayur yang udah datang di plastik gitu. Terus food waste, you can try composting. Actually, it's probably the only way that I can think of right now for you to try at home to get rid of food waste. What other waste that we're producing? I'm not sure. Maybe like energy waste, like I said, just don't be mindful of your energy usage. Oh, and don't online shop too much because they do come with like a lot of packaging. Kalau bisa, people who does online shopping, sorry, people who does online shopping for like clothes and brands and stuff, you can, but just put a note. Usually, it really helps, especially if you put a note saying that, hey, it's okay if it comes in like one layer of plastic, you know. And if you guys want to know how to dispose of your plastic waste, it's also good to do some research on it because we have posted something about it before in Project Planet, cara recycle your materials. So now it's like probably the time to do more research because you're at home and you have all these things to get rid of. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. Is there
Sama
anything else?
paling apalagi kayak ngurangin sampah, ya using less plastic itu iya. Terus kalau misalnya mau delivery yang kayak grocery shopping kan sekarang kayak ada yang kayak Happy Fresh gitu-gitu kan, kayak request using
Mm-mm.
kardus aja, boxes, jadi kayak at the end of the day
Mm-mm.
you can reuse it for something else lagi. Terus apalagi ya,
I don't feel like we're
oh,
producing a
try
lot
to
of waste
separate your itu sih,
except for food.
your sampah.
Yeah, separating your trash is like basically you just separate it into three types of trash when you're at home. Actually four types now that we're talking about electronic waste. Then ini you can just leave it there at least for like 6 days if you're worried about the changes in transmitting the virus ya misalnya. So you separate your waste into plastic waste, non-recyclable waste, and food waste, and then electric waste. So this e-waste, so that these four things you can just give to bank sampah misalnya plastic waste-nya at the end of this pandemic. If you're too scared to go, just store it at home. Make sure you clean it gitu. Jadi kayak sisa-sisa minum gitu lo bersihin dulu, dikeringin dulu, baru ditaruh and then store it away. Yeah, kalau food waste again, like that's all I can suggest. It's composting for some reason. Because for beginner composting, I think we're gonna probably write something about that, like a blog for you guys to
Ya,
understand, yeah, how to start. Because people,
itu
yeah,
will be a good idea sih. Itu bisa
yeah,
bantu.
I think it's gonna be a little bit scary because when I started composting, like I didn't know what to do and banyak banget like maggots. It was so
Ah,
scary. Like I started freaking out. Gitu kayak I taruh the stuff, and, but it's like part of life, I guess.
iya sih. Karena kayak mungkin ada yang kayak inviting mereka kali, kayak "Ini makanan gue nih." Gitu. I haven't tried that composting sih. Probably I'm gonna give it a try
Yeah, it's
during
it's
this
a
pandemic.
it's very like fulfilling experience, I
Oh ya?
think. Yeah, like you want to see the end of it, you know, like you want to see the
Ah,
hasil,
ya ya
and
ya.
and also like you feel so much better because you're separating all your food waste, you know, like you're not you know that it's not gonna end up in the landfills, and
You
you
feel
know,
better after it.
yeah, you feel a lot better in general. Yeah,
Okay,
the
I
only
think
thing that I don't know how to compose is like meat stuff.
itu kayak susah sih. Tapi I
Mm-mm.
don't know. Probably I'm
Yeah,
gonna
but
search on
we
that
should do
one.
research. Yeah,
Okay, then I think that's all.
that's all.
Yep.
Okay.
No more questions.
Thank you guys for coming to our little mini discussion.
Yes.
It's our
Thank you for
first.
tuning in.
Yeah, it's our very first IG live. So if you guys ada mau kita ngomongin about something else, go ahead and like DM any of us Akar at Akar Studios ya, A-nya 2 sama at Project Planet _ID. If you guys want us to raise awareness about some kind of topic that you're passionate about, we usually put it in a blog and we can talk about it. So just like feel free to DM us, and if you want to ask more questions about this topic particularly juga, yeah. Thank you for
Thank you for
coming and
having
listening.
me.
Yeah, of course, Akar, thank you
Stay
for having me
safe, stay
too.
healthy.
Yeah, be safe, stay healthy, everyone.